Welcome to Rocky Road to Success. I am Gloria Rand, award-winning SEO copywriter and founder and chief executive officer of Web to Wealth Marketing. And I am so glad that you are joining us here today because we have a good friend of mine who is an awesome coach is going to be joining us, and her name is Christine Catoggio, and I am going to let her come on and just kind of tell a little bit about who she is and what she does, because I know she does great stuff. So welcome, Christine.
Thank you, Gloria. Thank you so much for having me. Well, as you probably may or may not have mentioned before I got on here, I am a women's empowerment coach, and I'm a life transition expert. And basically what that is really helping women or men, predominantly women I work with, women or men get through whatever life deals them. So I help them get some clarity and direction on the next steps that they need to take to move forward, whether it's personally or professionally, and help them relieve some of their stress and their overwhelm, because we all have so many things that we're all dealing with, and just try and organize their life and remember who they were before life got in the way.
Yeah, that's so important because you really, yeah, and life does have that nasty habit of getting in the way for us, doesn't it? Awesome. So how long have you been doing this now that you've been coaching?
I've been coaching now. It's close to 7 years. Actually, officially, it's 3 years.
Okay.
Much longer. I transitioned from care management, where I was helping the adult children of aging parents as they were dealing with the aging parents and so many other things on their plate, trying to prioritize and figure out what their next steps were so they can find some sanity in a very busy, crazy time of their life.
Awesome. Yeah, that's definitely something that does affect a lot of us. I know a lot of people who've been, dealing with that. In fact, somebody I just saw, a colleague today, was actually her mom looks like she's going to be passing away. So she's like trying to rush over there and get to see her before that happens. So it's really tough. And especially, I know, like sandwich generations too. I think that's what they call it, right? When you're dealing with kids and your parents too at the same time.
Yes. Yeah. Sandwich generation. And it seems that, more kids are coming either home from school and living with their parents, or moving back because of financial issues. So I think that sandwich has become a triple decker, like a club sandwich.
I agree. I have a recent college graduate living with me now, and I will probably have another one here, at least briefly, until he gets a job and and settles himself down somewhere else too. So yeah, I definitely know how that goes. So think back, because the point of, well, actually, let me rephrase this. So the point of our program here is kind of to we're trying to give you a real scoop on business success, and part of that is mistakes. People do make a few mistakes along the way when they're trying to get their business rolling, and I know I certainly have made my share of mistakes along the way, for sure. So I was wondering if you could maybe share, one or two that you ran into when you were first getting going, and what happened with that, and how you were able to kind of overcome that, and yeah, lessons learned, that type of thing.
Okay, all right. Probably the biggest mistake, not just for me, but I see my clients experiencing this all the time, is perfectionism. We keep trying to get everything just right. I will launch when. I will, promote myself when the website is done, when, the logo is perfect. And we look for everything to be perfect. And all that does is really stalling tactics. It's us with our own fears, trying to wait because we don't feel like whatever we have is going to be accepted the way it is. And the truth of the matter is, it's really, you just need to take that step, and somehow, some way. And one of the things I always share with my clients is, without clients, there is no business. So you can have the prettiest website, you can have the greatest logo and perfect business cards. If you have no clients, you have no business. So usually, typically, what I I hear the cat in the background.
Yeah, I know.
What I work with my clients is I try and get them to step through the fear of taking the step and putting themselves out there and try to create the business, tell people what they do, start spreading the word, start doing the business instead of, trying to get all the bells and whistles in place. Because truth of the matter is, it's never perfect. And even after you think it's perfect, as you start to develop your business, you're going to find things you may want to change, you may want to tweak, things that you may find that you may want to adjust your programs because your clients are asking for different things. So it's really, get the business going first. Find out, where the clients are. And then you can just kind of move through that process and finish it. It's never finished. And just kind of get things done where you are now. And we don't know, what it's going to be like in 6 months from now. Or if the copy that we work so hard to prepare is even going to address the clientele that's responding. So there's all these tweaks that need to happen. So just get out and do the business.
Absolutely. Hang on one quick second, because this is the beauty of live television, sort of, or live to tape. Anyways, I'm going to let the cat out of the door because it's storming outside, and my daughter took the dogs out, but she didn't take the cat. So let me see if I can kick him out here for a minute. I'll be right back. Hold on. Here, cat, you want to come here? See, now you can even be on. There you are, recorded. But I need to kick you out. Go, 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 go. Out. See, there was a mistake that I made in not making sure that I had all of the pets out of my office before I started recording. So lesson learned. There you go.
So anytime now we may start hearing from them.
Oh, goodness gracious. Yeah, I definitely can relate to what you're saying, because when I first even launched my business back in, 2009. So I'm, launching my business as an SEO copywriter. So that would make you think that I need to have a website ready, right? No. It was like, I think, several months before I finally got the silly thing up and running. So I just had to just put myself out there and let people know and that what I was doing, even though I didn't have my own portfolio up there, because, it just, and then once I did get it up there, it as you said, it was never done. It was always a work in progress, because things change, you evolve, and you need to keep rolling with it. So I think that was a good point to make. But come on, there's got to be one thing I know you were talking about your clients. Come on, fess up. There's got to be one thing, one little mistake at least that you. Come on, we need to know you're human. That you made.
Well, it's probably along the same lines, but it's listening to the naysayers.
Ah, that's a good one. Yeah.
That's a stupid idea. How are you going to make money doing that? All those questions that, everyone, typically family, family is usually the one, they throw all that stuff out at you.
Mm-hmm.
And get you to second guess yourself. And, as a woman's empowerment coach, for me, it's like, stand in your power. If you believe this is going to work, and you are strategic, and you do your due diligence, and you believe that this is something that is possible, and it's something that you have a passion for, go for it. Trust your gut, because there'll always be somebody who's going to give you, something negative for whatever reason they want to be negative about it, and stop listening to them. And don't second guess your own intuition, because that's your GPS. So if you're getting that yearning that, there's, I really want to do this, I really am called to do this, I really feel like this can work, then go for it. Don't let anyone tell you differently. And, we see the videos on Facebook all the time about all the people, the Steve Jobs and so many other people who, have failed so many times. And how long it took to be a success.
Mm-hmm.
We may not get it right the first time, and we will make mistakes, but don't let other people be the reason that you don't follow your dream.
Mm-hmm.
And I, you know, for a long time it took me to shut out all those voices, because after you hear it enough, those voices, you know, that's the monkey chatter that we tell ourselves. And
Mm-hmm.
we really have to learn to shut that off and really step in our own power and believe in ourselves.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's great advice. What are there any particular techniques that you recommend specifically to be able to do that? Because sometimes it is, you know, like you say, it's definitely hard sometimes. I mean, do you do like, you know, do you recommend like affirmations or something like that?
Yeah, definitely. Affirmations are huge. They really are. Um, because there again, we second guess ourselves and we're like, oh, you know, I'm not good enough, or I won't be able to do this, or maybe they're right. And we start to believe those things that we hear. So to be able to overcome those and start to regain our own self-confidence, we really do need the affirmations. We need to, you know, remind ourselves that we can do it. We're worthy. We're smart enough. You know, we're strong enough. We're knowledgeable. Whatever it is, we need to keep reminding ourselves regularly. I love, you know, the little things that you can put on your mirror and see them everywhere you go, and just keep reminding yourself, because it's so easy, especially if things aren't working the way we would hope they would, that it's very easy to get discouraged. And so any way that we can fight that discouragement. So affirmations is a big way. Meditation is huge. And really it's a morning ritual. Having a morning ritual, you really set your mindset for the day. So whether that be meditation or some journaling, and setting your intention for what you want to happen during the day. Because then when with whatever comes at you, you've already put yourself in the mindset that today's going to be a good day. I'm going to get this done today. This is going to work today. You know, we get ourselves in a positive frame. And so a morning ritual is really key. It's really key, I believe, to being successful, because it helps us overcome whatever comes at us during the day. So those are two really big ones.
Mm-hmm.
And the meditation, and recently I've been trying to get into this practice myself. You can do it anytime during the day. You can take 5 minutes, just, you know, just close your eyes and concentrate and focus on your breathing, and just try and, like, you know, reframe. If something should come up, just reframe where you're at and remind yourself of what your intention was for the day. So we really need to, it's all mindset work. It really is, because we know what we want to do and what we want to accomplish. It's all the distractions and shiny objects and the Facebook and, you know, all the other social media that really takes us out of our own our own progress, you know,
Mm-hmm.
our own success. So we really need to just find the ways that work for us that can diminish all of that. And when all else fails, when you do get those crazy voices, say, yeah, okay, gone, okay, check, done, goodbye, next.
Yeah.
And, you know,
Yeah.
your thought process.
Right. I think I think I'd been to a seminar lately or something. I think he's just said you can say to yourself, "Thank you for sharing." Uh, you know, it's like, okay, thanks. You know, but then yeah, let it go.
Yeah, exactly. Control, Alt, Delete.
Right. Exactly. Another thing I've found helpful, and it is part of I make this part of my morning ritual too, because I do some meditation and some writing. Is I've been making a point of even starting the day with writing down about 10 things that I'm grateful for, because I think, yeah,
Yes,
I think that makes a big difference, don't you?
yeah, definitely. And also at the end of the day, because
Mm.
whatever positive thoughts we have on our mind when we go to sleep, that's really going to impact how our subconscious speaks to us during our sleep. So I believe that. And so that's going to affect how we wake up, and it's just going to have, you know, that trickle down effect. So yeah, I totally agree with that.
Mm. Very good, very good. Let's see, what else do I wanted to ask you about? Okay, so I'm glad you were kind enough to share. Well, then, let's maybe touch on a little bit. Are there any other things that you've come across in talking with your clients about any other things that trip them up that you haven't mentioned? If you can think of anything else.
Oh gosh, there are so many things, and obviously a lot of the times it's financial. You know, a lot of times people don't move forward because they don't have enough money to get the coach, or they don't have enough money to hire, the VA, or so they struggle along. And in essence, it's being able to make the minor changes, and sometimes it's all they are minor changes that, so get the VA for 5 hours instead of 10, but make those 5 hours that you give back to yourself productive in marketing your business, or doing other things that you can be doing to get clients. So it's really a restructuring of how we do things, and that can really take some guidance, and that's where a coach does come in, or a mentor that can really help you put the systems in place. And here again, I think that's, I just said something else that's huge, and that's having systems, and being organized in how you spend your time. Time management and systems, and just being able to function in a productive way, and not being haphazard in how we structure our day, so that we can get more in and make better use of our time and our money.
Yeah, absolutely. That was definitely one of my early mistakes, and I'm still kind of working on that. But it is, as small business owners, a lot of the times and especially I think people who are working, they're the only person in their business right now, because they're just getting it started and they're trying to grow it, and you get into this trap of thinking you've got to manage it all, but you actually can grow faster if you can just start releasing some of those tasks and coming up with systems to be able to release that is so important, because that was one of the mistakes I made the first time I did hire a VA, is I didn't have really a clear instructions for her, number one, of what to do and what the expectations were that I needed her to follow. And so we had some miscommunication, and really I take the responsibility for it, because I didn't set up good enough systems. I didn't set the expectations, and that's something that when you do that properly, the next time I did hire someone and we created systems all along, so that then if she left, and actually she did, I was able to turn it over to someone else, and they were able to pick up, and things moved a lot more smoothly.
Right. And I think that's something that, as you mentioned, solopreneurs, a mistake that we make is that we think we need to do it all. We think that, we're a solopreneur, we're always going to be a solopreneur, and we don't need help from anyone. And the truth of the matter is we really do, because we can't do it all. We're not good at everything. I mean, I'm not a techie person. I do a lot of techie things, maybe not very good. I like to think I can do some things on my own, but it takes me probably 5 times as long than if I had someone who, really was qualified to do it. So, we just have to put a value on what's more important. Is your time more important, or, can you give this to someone else to handle for you? So we need to learn to relinquish control a little bit, which is really hard for a solopreneur, because this is, whatever it is, we've birthed it. So,
right.
It's our child.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
You need to learn some release, and it's amazing how things start to flow when you can release.
Yeah, absolutely. And there was one thing you touched on briefly there about the value, and that really is key, is to figure out, okay, if I'm going to pay this person X amount to do this, versus if I'm actually doing, like if in your case, you're coaching, if you're going to make X number of dollars per hour coaching, you're probably not paying the VA nearly as much as hopefully that you're making, so you could certainly afford that. And that's what you've got to look at. Is this a $5 task, or can I be, am I making, $100, or kind of structure it that way, price it out, so that yeah, if I'm wasting all my time on things that are bringing in $5, that's not a good way to be spending my time.
Exactly. exactly. And as long as we're on the subject of value, that's probably another mistake. Not even new, but people in business make, solopreneurs, um, is not appreciating or really understanding our own value. So we're willing to barter, we're willing to do things for free so we can bring the clients in. And which is all well and good in the beginning when you're trying to fine tune everything, but then it reaches a point where we have to learn to really appreciate our own value and stop giving everything away for free,
Mm.
because we don't want to be the freepreneur. We want to be the wealthypreneur.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And frankly, people tend to value you more if you are charging more. If because it's compared to Walmart versus Nordstrom's. If when someone walks into Nordstrom, they're going to get that exceptional service, and that's what they're going in for. But Walmart, it's just cheap. So do you want to be that person? Who's just if you do, that's fine, but just be aware of that and be cognizant of it. Otherwise, if you want to be, really that hold your own value, as you say, and value yourself so that other people will respect you that way.
Exactly. Because when people, their perceived value is that you are cheap or that they can negotiate your price, uh,
Mm-hmm.
then usually that's not the ideal client that you want anyway.
Right. That's
That you're bringing to the table.
mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, but yeah, the ones when I've I maybe swallowed hard, but said, okay, this is it. This is my fee. And they're like, okay. And it's like, yay. They understand it. They get it. It's so nice versus the ones where you're like, oh, definitely early in my, career. And they're like, oh, geez, $100, really? And I'm like, really? Really? Of course, that's one of the things. I still remember this. I was at a women's conference, and um, the the woman in charge of it was recommending Fiverr. This was when they had first just started coming out, to do your copywriting, and I'm like, I'm a copywriter right here. Don't be telling people to go to Fiverr, please. but they're just good to use in a pinch. I can appreciate it now. Uh, all right. Well, let's see. Um, this has been great. Actually, I'm trying to think if there's anything else. We've covered a lot.
Good amount of time too.
Yeah, I know. It's gone really fast, and it was really awesome. So, is there any other little words of wisdom that you would like to impart? Even to, even to not necessarily even startups, but even experienced business owners sometimes still fall into some traps and do are making mistakes that maybe they're not even realizing they're doing. Is there anything else you wanted to mention in that, or that advice you could offer?
Yeah, definitely. And it's actually something that I've experienced of late. And I have to keep reminding myself, sometimes we have to stop trying so hard, and we
Mm-hmm.
have to step away and reevaluate, and realize that sometimes things are just going to happen the way they need to happen. And we push a rock uphill sometimes and beat ourselves up that things aren't happening in the speed that we would like them to. And
Mm-hmm.
so sometimes we just need to take that step back, take the afternoon off, go to the beach, do whatever you have to do, clear your head. Because when we are so immersed in what we're doing, sometimes we really can't see the forest for the trees. And so we need to really just back away, allow our heads to clear a little bit, get out in the sunshine at the beach, take your shoes off, walk in the grass, get a little grounded
Mm-hmm.
instead of, fried to the computer, computer, get ourselves more grounded and remember what we're doing, why we're doing it, because that's a big one. What is your
Mm-hmm.
why?
Yep.
And take a step away, because a lot of times we're doing. We want to make things happen, and things don't necessarily happen that way. When we know we've done all that we can do and we put the systems in place, things will happen organically, and we have to allow them to happen instead of always trying to push that rock uphill. I remember years ago, I had a friend of mine. He was, getting very stressed. He was going to all these networks. He was doing all these things, and nothing was happening. The phone wasn't ringing, and he was totally stressed. And I said, you know what? Shut everything down and just get out of the office for the afternoon. So that's not going to work. And, typical type A. And I said, just walk away, because you're not accomplishing anything right now. Just walk away, regroup, do whatever you need to do. So I think he had gone to the beach or somewhere, and he came back like 3 hours later, and there were 3 orders on his phone.
Yeah. Wow.
Sometimes it's like things just need to happen the way they need to happen, no matter how much we push. We need to take that step back and just, reevaluate, let things happen the way they're supposed to happen.
Awesome. Yeah, I've definitely experienced that too. That's great advice. So thank you so much for being here today. It was good seeing you again. We haven't talked in a while, and it's good to catch up and remember how brilliant you are. So it was very good. All right. Well, I know. Before we go though, so if someone wants to know how to get in touch with you, where can they go? What's your website, and how can they connect with you?
My website is ChristineCatoggio.com, and I will spell that ChristineCatoggio.com. I'm on Facebook as Christine Catoggio, and I also have my business page, Women of Rise and Time to Rise. So I'm pretty much in most social media, so I'm easy to find.
All right, very good. Well, I definitely encourage you all to check her out, because as you can hear, she's got a wealth of advice and great sensible tips for you to follow if you want to be successful in business. So yeah, so thanks again. I'm glad you were here. And great. And dealing with Google Hangouts, it's a little weird. I know that Blab has been wonky, and that's why I'm trying Google Hangouts, but eventually I'm hoping to get onto Facebook. That's my next goal. So until next time, I'm Gloria Rand, and wishing you all just peace, love, and prosperity.